Hello bullet journal pals, it's Erin here for one last video for 2022. Reflection is a really big part of the bullet journaling method, so I'm going to use some of the remaining pages at the end of my second journal for 2022 to put together some kind of reflection spread situation. Ryder Carroll, the creator of the bullet journal method, made a really interesting video about this a few months ago on his channel, so I'll pop a link to that in the description in case you'd like to see. But basically it's talking about how important reflection is to the bullet journal process in order to grow and learn and do better. And of course, the end of a year and the beginning of a new year is a very natural place to think about reflecting. So if you also have some pages left at the end of your journal, or if you just want to check your headspace before you go into the new year, I really recommend trying something like this for yourself as a way of celebrating your wins from 2022 and also looking at maybe what needs to change going into 2023 in a way that's very kind and gentle to yourself. I don't like going too hard on the decoration for this kind of thing. This is sort of more about the introspection than it is about the decoration for me kind of spread. So I'm just sticking to a thin washi tape that I picked up from Daiso here in Australia, and also some little accents from the Washi Tape Shop's Delicate Floral Wreaths set. I did something very similar at the end of my mid-year journal back in June, and this is going to be sort of a continuation of that. So I wanted to make sure I'm leaving lots of space to answer the reflective questions that I'm going to be asking myself, but at the same time the decorative aspect is really what makes bullet journaling super fun for me, so I didn't want to ignore it altogether. At the top I'm adding my first heading on the left page, and that is what do I want more of? I know this seems kind of vague, but I guess that's kind of the point, in that you will interpret it in the way that you need to interpret it. So this can be anything that you had or didn't have this year that you'd like to have more of in the new year. The next one is what do I want less of? What are some things that I am leaving behind? Stuff that I don't want to take with me into 2023, or that I'll be doing less or engaging less with or seeing less of, if that makes sense. The 3 Tombow dual brush pens I'm using for this setup are probably the 3 I've used the most this year. I've got the 761, which is the pink for the lower heading, the 620, which is the purple for the top heading, and the 800, which is the one I'm using to offset every second line at the moment, just to make it a little bit more of a delineated writing space. And in this space you can do dot points, you could do long form journaling, you could have a whole page for each of these thoughts, or you could have less than I've done, as long as you're looking back on the year that was and the way that things worked for you and the things that didn't work for you, then you're doing reflection absolutely right. There's no correct way to do this. The top right side of the facing page is for what I'm proud of, and the bottom right side is for what could I improve? What could I do better? So this way I'm celebrating some wins. I'm also looking a little bit harder at things that maybe didn't work, or where I could have poured more effort into something that I wanted to do that I maybe let fall by the wayside. And if you keep goals at the beginning of your journal, if you set yourself a New Year's resolution or a word of intention for the year, or if you set hard and fast goals, it's a good time to look back at those and take them into account when you're doing this reflection to see what did you achieve, what did you not achieve, what do you no longer want to achieve that maybe you thought you did at the beginning of the year. Checking in with this stuff, not just at the end of the year but throughout, really helps to keep you thinking about this stuff. The next couple of spreads are something I'm actually including in the beginning of my 2023 journal, but I sort of didn't want to miss out on doing it for this year too, so I've decided it's a reflection system, it's great, we can put it at the end of this journal and it will work just as well. So that's a memories spread, or in fact 2 memory spreads in this case. And I'm doing that with photos, one representing each month of the year that was 2022. So I've grabbed out a piece of my Sprocket paper. I'm going to use my HP Sprocket mini printer to do this, and I'm just marking 6 spots where I can stick one of these down. You could do this across just one spread if you wanted to and manage to fit all 12 photos across. I mean, maybe you could, maybe they're too big. I haven't measured, but you can set this out however you like. I'm using basically the same system that I'm using in the beginning of my 2023 book, so this is a good practice run for me too. In case you didn't know this about me, I work as a photographer. That's my main job, and the YouTube stuff is something fun that I do on the side and have a great time with. And I've realized recently that I actually don't celebrate photos for myself nearly as much as I should. If it's something that I expect people to value in their lives, then maybe I should be valuing it more in my own life too. So this is a way for me to have some of my personal photos displayed somewhere that I will look at and think of fondly. So print your photos and put them where you'll look at them is all I can say. This first spread is going to be for January, February, March on the left page and April, May, June on the right. And I've really just grabbed whatever decorative items I thought would work with the colors I'd already used out of my drawer. So this is the Dreamland washi tape set. I used it extensively for July 2022. I'll pop a link up in the corner and down below in case you'd like to see that video. It's such a beautiful washi tape set. I love it so much, so it's nice to give it another little moment to shine. I'm layering that up with the Daiso washi tape set that I was using earlier as well. And I actually found, as you'll see soon, after I'd set the spread up and added the pictures to it, I thought it needed a bit more decoration, but you'll see, it'll all come together. In the meantime, let's set up this second memory spread and get it ready to add photos to. And here is a little before the pen flip through of these reflection spreads. I am going to get in there with my printer and show you how I will use the memory spread. I'm not going to show you how I'll use the first one because that stuff's quite personal, so, you know, just imagine that with some text on. But for the rest of these, I'm going to print one photo per month with my little HP Sprocket and add the name for each month as I go, as I stick them down. If you don't have an HP Sprocket or similar mini printer, there are quite a few around. The Sprocket's actually been discontinued now, I think. I bought mine secondhand on Marketplace and it works great, so I can recommend that for sure. But if you have a regular home printer, you can also do this stuff on normal paper and then just cut and stick them into your journal with glue, whatever works for you. And if you don't want to look back on photos, that is totally fine as well. I'm doing mine a little bit out of order here, but my March was at a beach club with a friend. My April was at something called Pub Choir, where we all go and learn to sing a song in several part harmony, which was really fun. May, I went to a blues music festival on the Gold Coast, which was awesome. In June, I went to a wedding with a friend. I was the photographer, but I took a photo with my friend who was a bridesmaid. January was a COVID vaccine, which I just think is so wild because that's not really a thing that we're thinking too much about anymore. And I took the one for February while I was location scouting for a shoot, but I just thought that leaf was really beautiful. This one for July is from a friend's birthday party, which was Christmas in July themed. August is at the Echo, which is our annual Brisbane agricultural fun fair / fete kind of thing. September, I forgot to write the name of the month on, but it's a photo of my partner and his band with our favorite band. They opened for them, which was really, really cool. We love you, Vaudeville Smash. October is a photo at a friend's birthday party. November is from a tea festival that I attended recently with friends, and my December photo is my lovely partner Chris patting the Mitsu, and Mitsu looks like he's really enjoying it. The Sprocket actually hasn't handled the lens flare in that photo too well, but I still think it's lovely and really cute. So this is where I thought, I think we need more. I want to really lean into this scrapbook kind of look, so I'm adding some more washi tape just to keep things looking a little bit exciting on the pages, just wherever it feels like it needs it. And here is the flip through, kind of after the pen, but maybe more after the photos. I hope you've enjoyed this reflection, and I hope you have a wonderful New Year's to ring in 2023. I can't wait to see you again in the new year. Thank you so much for being here, and I can't wait to catch you in another video very soon. Bye.